Good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome, everybody. Flight 737, thank you so much. That's a good way to start the stream. Scotsman, James, Steve, and Wolf, and all the other guys whose names I can't even see. Guys, welcome, welcome. Sorry it's taken a while to get going, but you know, it's one of those things. Zibo has to do what he has to do, and then here we are. Welcome to everybody on Discord, by the way. We've got a nice full house here. Bill, Christer, Ricardo, Paul, Rab, Sasso. Pilot Sasso is going to help talk with me about Route 2 and tell us a little bit more of real-world stories. And then we've got Thunder and Uncle John. Welcome, guys.
Good evening.
Evening. Evening.
Evening.
Evening.
There you go. Here's Andrew and Jordan. Hello, Jordan. Jordan, are you okay? How's the baby doing? And how's mommy doing? And are you guys okay?
Jordan.
And congratulations, by the way. We'll say it live on air. I know we had our private chat, but yeah, congratulations here on air as well. Right, okay, so I never changed my scenery. That is totally beside the point. Let's make sure that I did this update correctly. RC 1.1 of version 3.54. Hello, Carl. Welcome, welcome. And there's James. Thank you so much. Patience is a virtue. Yes. I think for the greater good here, we didn't do too badly. And Zibo, if you're watching, welcome and thank you so much. Appreciate all the hard work, and so I hope we can make you proud as well. Right. While I was playing, I was fiddling here with the different versions of the FMC. I'm not aware of any specific limitations, so I just want to make sure that I've got A2 and then I've also got route 2 yes. So guys, for you to be able to use a route 2, you must make sure that this is set to yes. Right, okay, so let's get some power going. Okay, so I think I'm going to jump in quickly. I think if you can give us a little bit of background why there is such a thing like Route 2 and how you use it in the real world while I'm busy setting up. I'm not going to fly, by the way, guys. We're just here for the demo. So take it away. Tell the guys what's the story with Route 2.
Yeah, with pleasure. So good evening, everyone. Basically, Route 2 is a function of the FMC into the legs page. And the option is you have the option to load a new route while you're still keeping another route as a deactive one. Remember, of course, you can use only one route and will be one route active one at a time, just to make it clear. And so everything like the LNAV, your performance will be connected to that route which is active, and then we will show you how you can see which one is the active one. The feature to have two routes into the FMC has been introduced probably in the last 2 years, no more than that. When I started back in 2017, it wasn't there. It came probably by the end of 2018, initial of 2019, as far as my company concerned. So as we can see there is Nico that is loading the first route, so on Route 1. That's probably what you're gonna do at the beginning of your day. You go into the aircraft, you start up the baby, and then you will insert the Route 1, either by company route or manually. And now look, of course, Nico inserted already the call sign, which is the flight number. Remember that the flight number is not gonna be the flight number from the OFP, but it's going to be your call sign, because from there, that FMC, that line is connected with the mode Sierra of the aircraft, and that is the call sign that will be sent down to ATC. So if you put there a wrong call sign, then ATC will come to you and say, baby, double check what you have written there, because it's something crazy for us, because their system of ATC is not pairing the flight plan with the wrong call sign, of course. So that's the first step. Now, as you can see, we have 3 options there. So the first option is continue with the performance initialization, which is the normal thing, the normal procedure that we do. On the left, you have the route to, which if you press at the moment is going to be completely blank, but you have the flight number, which is the call sign that you put before. And this is the first point. You can never, ever put another call sign while you still have another route. So you cannot put two call signs in the FMC at the same time. And that's exactly for the reason I just told you, because the call sign you have there is going to be your identity card with ATC down into the radar screen. So if you imagine to have two call signs, then it's going to be a mess. So it's not going to work. So that's the first point. And as you can see, all the rest regarding route 2, it's blank. It's completely blank. Even if you go on next page, Nico, you can show them that it's completely blank. Well, there is nothing. So of course there is no. If you put if you press the legs now, so as you can see on the top there, you see. So route 2 technically at this point should be blank, should be completely empty. So because we didn't copy the route. That's the first route that you put. That's route 1. And he got transferred into route 2, but this is not correct. So remember, gents, we're still working on it with Mr. Zibo. So it's still an unfinished code.
Yeah. Sorry, Sasha, let me just quickly add that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever you guys see now, just remember this is an introduction. This is literally, it's even for us guys, you know, call it an alpha build or whatever you want to call it. This is a release candidate. It's not finished yet. So by the time it's done, you know, it will be as the real aircraft. But part of what we do now is just obviously showing you how we are working on it and reporting back to Zibo, and everybody's making notes and making sure that it works. Okay, so Sasa, go ahead.
Yeah, so basically what will be in the real baby, when you press route to go into route 2 where we are at the moment, because we didn't copy route 1 yet, then the route copy will be completely blank. So even in the next page, you will see nothing. That's the first point. So now if we go back on route 1, Nico, we just filled in our route 1. If you press route, let's see the next page. So if you press route, you will have this window here, this screen. You have the option to go into route 2, which we don't care at the moment, and you have the wonderful route copy. This is very important because you can copy it. Let's say route copy is complete. So this is very important because many pilots want to copy the route 1 and have a backup in the route 2. And this is mainly for two reasons. You will get some direct point from ATC, so during your flight, and this means that you are going to lose a couple of waypoints. And in this way, if you keep the route 2, which is basically a duplication of the original route 1, then you can recall it during your flight, have the waypoint there, the original waypoint, and do the double check of the fuel or whatever is needed. So this is the importance of having the route copy completed. Okay, and that's the first thing. So now, as you can see there, if we go into route 1, the screen page is going to be exactly the same. So look, route 1, and you can see that says active route 1 on the top. That means that this will be the actual route. So anything you will do with LNAV is going to take the information in terms of horizontal alignment, horizontal route from the active one, which is route 1. So even if you change something on the route 2, it doesn't care. LNAV will just talk with the active route, which at the moment is route 1. And in fact, into route 2, you have still the option to activate it because it's saying to you, man, I'm here, but I'm not active, okay? The other option that you can use to double check which one is active is to press depth arrival. Because at the moment, if you press depth arrival, you will see it. You can see there quite clearly. Depth arrival, route 1 is the active one. Now let's play this, Nico. Go into route. You go into route. This is route 2, you can see there at the top. Now press activate. press activate and execute. Now go into that arrival. And look now, route 2 is now the active one. So you can have quickly a wonderful overview of what is going on into your FMC. Which one is the active one? You can't mess up, okay? That's the first point. Now, if we go on route, Nico, on route 1, I don't know what else you want to show, because basically that's the option of having the second route there.
So you lead us. I haven't actually played with it yet, so you just continue. Talk with. I don't know.
Remember, gents. Yeah, remember that the performance are not synchronized with the route, so you can have two routes loaded into the FMC, but the performance will be always only one page of performance. Okay. You cannot have double performance. Don't think that because you have route 2 active, then the performance that you are putting into the FMC are linked with route 2. That's not true. The performance are one and only one for the FMC in general. Okay. In fact, the pleasure of having route 2 is for two reasons. The first one is the one I just said before, for the fuel check and to have a backup of the original route, of the original flight plan. And the second option is that once you are airborne, once you are approaching maybe the top of the sand during the flight, you may use route 2 to preload the flight back. Imagine that you're doing a wonderful, nice 4-hour flight down to, I don't know, the Canaries, for instance. Okay. It will be maybe 3 full line of flight plan, probably 3 full line of route to track. So what you want to do, what you can do is during the first flight, load already the route for the way back. So you can save a bit of time on the ground. But in fact, when you will reach your stand and you start to board the passenger for the way back, you will still need to load the performance regarding the flight back. You cannot load the performance already. You have to put the new call sign for the reason I told you before, and you will still need to put the performance. These are the main point here. So don't get messed up. Route 1 and Route 2 is only the route, only the leg page. Everything else, call sign and performance, you still have to wait to be on the ground and put them in. That's to be very clear. Another thing that you can do, you can step through. So let's imagine, Nico, what we can do here. Let's imagine that that's not really SOP, because technically when you have one route active, then you want to only play with that route until you complete that flight. So let's imagine we're going from Dublin to Stansted, okay? We planned, which runway you planned, Nico? 22 or 04? What's the runway there?
Sorry, I'm muted. It's 28 takeoff and 04 landing.
Okay, 04. So let's imagine that we may expect runway 22 instead. Okay, there is a 50% chance. So what we can actually do, but again, this is not really SOP, like not really safe in terms of operation. You can technically go into route 2 and just change the arrival section by putting the ILS for runway 22. So you prepare the option to have the other runway in. So basically, yeah, you can go there. You can leave route 1 as the active one. You're still on route 1, Nico?
Yes.
Yeah. So you need first to go into route 2.
Right, I am in route 2.
Yeah.
Right, and we go to arrival. Yeah.
First of all, yeah, exactly. Now we are in, oh, that's wrong.
Yeah.
That's something to be changed, because you pressed arrival for the route 2, but it still says route 1 at the top.
Oh,
so
yeah. Okay, that has to change. Yes. Okay, good. Yes, you saw that. Okay.
But here we can put ILS 22. Then we can put the star that we are expecting. So it's just to give you the opportunity to prepare the other chance, to prepare
Of course,
the other
of course.
options.
Okay, now I'm not familiar with that airport, so I'm just going to quickly look at the chart, see if I can spot what the...
Just put, yeah, no problem. Coming from Dublin, you can put ILS 22.
Yeah.
And then you can put the Bamba Wallim arrival. And
Right.
then go next page. I don't know if we need Lorel as a transition. No, it's not needed. That's it. So now if you go on route, if you press route, into route 2, just go next page. You see one Lima, FINMA 1 Lima, so it's not changing the route. This has changed because it's still maintaining runway 04. No, this has to be changed because now we would have seen runway 22. Basically, that's the beautiness of having two routes available. Because on the second one, you can load a different type of approach. And maybe while you are still in the air, you can still use the, the plan mode. Let's try, Nico, to put completely a different route. Let's try, if we go on to route page, so route 2, yeah, that's the one we want, which is the one non-active. Let's change the origin into Echo Golf Sierra Sierra. These, of course, will reset the destination. So basically, you will clear the route. You see there. Okay, now let's put, I don't know, Lima India Mike Echo, for instance, into the destination. Perfect. Now, depth arrival. So we are now, let's imagine we are flying, guys. We have route 1 active in our wonderful LNAV and VNAV, which is taking all the information from the route 1, which is the active one, so the magenta one. And we are playing with route 2, telling that we will start from Stanster later, we will go down to Bergamo, and all that, whatever we want. But being not active means that we can play as much as we want, and this will not interfere. So 04, yes, you can put the Clapton 5 Sierra departure. Yeah, that one. And that's it. I just want to check in the route page. So if you go into the legs, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Now go into next page.
Route next page, okay, yeah.
Exactly. It's still, well, this is a bug. I mean, we are still working. Zibo is still working on it. Because now you would have seen the departure. And now, technically, you can go into the legs page of route 2, like this one, by having the departure, the Clapton for Sierra. And you can go into the plan mode and brief technically your colleague on the next departure, or double check that the points are correct. Guys, we are still working on it. Zibo is still working on it, so it's not as it is now. We're still having to fix the code.
That's fine. That's fine. I think the guys understand that. We literally just invite you into our home to see what we're doing. You know, that's all. It's just a preview stream, so you guys have got an idea what's coming. I think we've identified 3 or 4 bugs there for Zibo. So Zibo, if you're watching, I mean that's cool right there. So you've got some homework to do and stuff, and you know, we'll help you further as we go on. So yeah, that's the story.
Just key points to bring home. Route 1 and Route 2, it's a new option. Route 2 mainly used as a backup for Route 1 during flight to do fuel check, and use that to save time when you land, because you can preload the route to fly back or the route for your next leg. So these are the main keys. Remember, the only thing that you cannot already load while you are flying the route 1 is the call sign that will remain unchanged. So you will need to wait to be at your stand with the engine off to start to put a new call sign. And the other thing is the performance page. The performance are not linked with the route, so you will have to wait to be again on stand with the engine off to load the route. Sorry, to load the performance for the next leg.
Yep. Yeah. Excellent. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy this. I know we've been asked many times over many months if this is coming, and there we go. It's come. It's just in working. Before we go, I just want to mention to you guys the kind of effort that Zibo has put in here. Please look in the description below the video. You'll see his direct donation link as well to PayPal. Guys, I am asking on his behalf, and I want to tell you this. To get to this page, to get to the stage, has already required in the order of 15,000 lines of code that had to be changed just to get here from where you have fixed 26 and where this one is. Okay, and Zibo was talking of another 5,000 lines of code, you know, to finish this. So just bear that in mind. If you can you know, make a donation to him as well, not just to me, I would really appreciate it. And that's just my plea. Other than that, I think we're done. Guys, if you've got questions, now's the time to ask them. You know, while we're all gathered here, feel free.
Yeah,
ask.
Nico, just bring them to me because I'm just seeing your streaming here on Discord. I can't see the chat, just because I'm on the phone, that's all.
Sure.
So if there are questions, I mean, just
I'll read them.
Forward to me, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll read them to you if the guys ask within the next minute or so. So I'm just looking at the ND. There seems to be a little bit of a confusion, but I also want to mention this to the viewers now, that the route 2 is supposed to be the one in the dashed blue cyan kind of a color line. All right, so if there is a question of two routes, one will be magenta, one will be the dashed line. It's similar to the go around, you know, that is depicted. So
exactly,
bear that in mind.
Yeah, it's exactly the same thing.
We do have one question for you when you're ready.
Shoot.
Yeah, go.
When you, obviously if you're flying route 1 and you land at your destination and you've got your next leg programmed into route 2, do you copy it across and predominantly fly route 1, or do you swap backwards and just carry on in route 2?
Yes, as a safety policy in my company, we always use route 1. So once you reach the stand, you will have route 1 empty. You will press route 2, which is pre-filled but waiting to be activated without any call sign. Remember this. So you will see that the flight number is empty. You can press activate, and then you will execute and route copy it. So when you do route complete, now is the opposite. Route 2 has been copied into route 1. So now you go back into route 1 Mac, you press activate, you press execute, then you put the call sign, and the job is done. So that's the idea. So yeah, we always fly mainly route 1. That's the thing. Yeah, absolutely.
I raised that question because we had a discussion amongst several of us earlier, and I was pretty certain for safety reasons you would always fly route 1.
Definitely, absolutely, yeah. Just for safety. Even though, as I show you, it's quite clear which one is the active one at any given point. You have two options, or look there and see what the FMC says in terms of legs page, because you will have the act, or as soon as you press Tab for arrival, you will see which one is the active one.
Yeah,
and that's
it does avoid confusion, that's all.
Absolutely. In an high workload situation, you don't want to play around with the routes. You know, that's the thing.
Yeah, thank you, Sasso.
Pleasure.
Yeah, amazing, eh? This aircraft just keeps on getting better and better and better.
Better than the real one sometimes.
Yeah, but try and tell that to flight simmers. We've had that discussion a few times. Flight simmers want this thing sometimes to be flying on rails and all kinds of things, and then when you start telling them the real one doesn't work that way, they kind of get confused. No, but how can it not work that way? You know. Anyway, one of those things.
There is one real benefit of flying Zibo, and that is even if you do crash the plane, it's likely that everybody escapes and there's no fatalities.
Yes.
True. Yeah.
You remind me.
Nico,
Yeah.
No,
Go.
we'll have shortly to go. So if you have any other question, or I don't know if there are questions,
No,
because
I
will have to go soon.
think we're all settled. Sorry, Paul, go for it.
Yeah, Sasso, it seems like
Yeah.
there's a lot of flexibility in using Route 2. So let's say the weather is questionable at your arrival. Would you use plan a diversion, for example?
No.
Or would you
never.
just be a smart pilot and do it properly first time?
Do it properly, because a diversion is an high workload situation, and I promise you 100 euros now that as soon as you press toga, then the other fellow pilot is going to go crazy and he will activate the wrong route and you will turn back to wherever you come from and you will lose the fuel. So no, never do it.
No, I mean, if you're 100 miles out and you don't know whether you can land, would you plan your diversion to an alternate?
No. I will add the point into the active route, okay? Also, because if I am good pilot, even if I add the route from the destination airport towards a new airport, because remember, you can add point after the missed approach point. You can manually enter the point, okay? I can just put quickly the initial approach fix of my diversion airport. That's it. I have already the line after the go around where I want to go, okay? But I never use route 2 to put a diversion if I'm using the route 1. Route 2 in order, I will use route 2 first as a backup to have route 1 duplicated, okay? That's the first option. Then, when I'm at the top of the descent on route 1, and I'm starting basically the descent into my destination, so fuel checks are completed, I don't need the backup of route 1 anymore, I will load the route for the next leg into route 2. So I have it ready when I land. That's it.
Okay, thanks.
That's in order. In terms of safety margin, you never want to put a go around route into another route page. Because remember, Paul, that's more operational thing. You have one alternate into your flight plan as a simmer. In reality, usually for each destination, we have between 3 and 4 commercial alternate. So we will try to check which one is the most favorable for us in terms of fuel, safety, and whatever it is, but also we will take into account the passenger behind us. So the company will suggest for Bergamo, we have the commercial one, which is Malpensa, because it's very close. Commercial 3 will be Bologna. Commercial 2 will be Verona, which is really close. So until you do the go around and maybe you start the turn after the go around, you don't know really where you're gonna go. You know what I mean, Paul?
Yeah.
There will be a slightly bit of discussion with the other pilot, and you will double check also the weather before actually turn and take the decision to go into that alternate. So that's the bits and pieces, of course. As a simmer, we have one alternate, one is there in the flight plan, that's it, off we go. Not in reality. In reality, there will be a bit of, crew, resource, and crew decision to be taken there.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah, pleasure.
Awesome.
Plus ATC will be involved.
As well, yeah, as well, always. Nico, I'm sorry, but I have to go.
No problem. Thank you for being here, Sasso. Thank you for your input.
Pleasure.
Right.
It's a pleasure.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm sure that Zibo will send new release soon, so we will work on it and then give you maybe a full video when it is all function with all the function on or something.
We'll make a plan. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Stay well,
anyway,
Sasso.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, Sasso.
Bye, Sasso.
Right. So, well, from my side, I've said what I needed to say, and I've shown you guys. This is not a tutorial. Please don't use it as a tutorial, this video. This is just a preview to show you what we're working on. So, yeah, back to Zibo and back to our realities. And we'll speak to you guys soon again. And thank you for joining us. It was nice. There was 46 viewers at one point in time. I see it's dropped off a little bit now. Everybody, welcome, and have a good evening or day wherever you come from, and we'll talk soon again. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, Nico. Thank you.
Bye, Nico. Thank you.
Okay.